Welcome to the first episode of our Cyrodiil Siege Guide. In this video, we will look at the various ways of sieging a keep and what you have to keep in mind to be successful. One important aspect of an effective siege is that everyone in the group places and uses siege weapons. To learn more about the different types of sieges and what they can do, check out our other videos on siege weapons, linked below.
When sieging the outer main gate of a keep, you want to be using Dominion ballistas and stone trebuchets. Make sure you don't use fire or lightning ballistas, as they only do half the damage of Dominion ballistas. You can place up to 20 offensive sieges at every keep, and you should aim to fill these slots. Even with less than 20 players, this is easily achievable, as one player can operate up to 3 ballistas or 3 trebuchets at the same time.
Note that ballistas have a much shorter range than trebuchets, so they should be placed closer to the door. Place the trebuchets behind the ballistas to ensure a clear line of sight for all siegers. Here we have drawn an imaginary line to demonstrate the clear separation between the two rows of long and short ranged siegers.
Every successful siege on a gate, both outer and inner, should have a battering ram. The battering ram requires 6 players to stand inside it to be fully functional. When inside the ram, certain skills are necessary to ensure the survival of the players inside. A siege shield to protect against damage from oils and other defensive sieges, heals to recover HP, and purge abilities to cleanse negative effects.
Once the outer gate has been breached, we move on to the inner. Note that players standing in the ram can place ballistas around it, which they can fire while standing in the ram. Those will go in the positions shown here.
The other players can place ballistas in the archway. The triangle placement shown here is a space-efficient way of placing sieges which can be replicated in every archway surrounding the inner gate.
Same as on the outer, you'll want to place your trebuchets behind the ballistas, as demonstrated here. When there is a lot of defense, your crown might call for a ranged siege. This means that the ram can't be used, and you might have to resort to sieging from the walls. Here you can see a wall siege being set up. Try and place your sieges in a space-efficient way.
While meatbag catapults are predominantly defensive sieges, they can be useful in an attack. By placing meatbags on the towers surrounding the inner keep, you can distract and possibly kill enemies that are pouring oil on your group members below. Some specific placements will even allow you to fire onto the inner flags.
While we are sieging the inner keep, at least one meatbag catapult should be placed facing the outer gate to slow incoming enemies. It should be fired intermittently to maintain a constant AoE in the doorway. Here you can see an example of one meatbag defending while the ballistas are sieging the inner gate.
In some cases, players choose to place their trebuchets as far back as possible, thereby blocking the line of sight for the meatbag. Please do not place any siege weapons between the meatbag and the outer gate. No, seriously, don't.
Sometimes we will choose to siege a side wall rather than the main gate. It is important that we all fire on the same piece of wall, indicated here by the white box. When unsure which wall to fire on, follow your crown's lead. Now, let's talk about side doors. Side doors are invincible. Don't shoot at the door, but rather at the wall around it. The same applies for the side doors on the inner keep. Don't shoot at the door, but shoot at the wall. There you go.
Once we've breached the inner gate and are standing on the flags to turn them, we will need meat bags firing at the gate to prevent enemy players from entering the keep. There are multiple positions where meat bags can be placed. A minimum of 3 should always be used. Don't forget to place a meat bag on the second flag, like so.
Before hunting down straggling enemies, we must repair the keep to remove the UA status and enable friendly players to respawn inside. This will also lock in enemy players, making them much easier to kill. To protect our repairing players, a siege shield, heals, and a stun are very helpful.
Don't forget to restock your sieges at the siege merchant to the left of the second flag. Here you can find ballistas, camps, meatbag catapults, stone trebuchets, and flaming oil. Don't forget to restock your repair kits. Use keep door repair kits for the inner and outer gates, wall repair kits for walls and side doors, and siege repair kits to prolong the lifespan of your sieges. Here you can also find the keep recall stone, which enables you to travel to any keep of your faction that is not under attack. Note that you have to be away from a friendly keep or town to use this.
Thank you for watching this video on how to siege a keep, proudly presented by the Dauntless Bananas. Don't forget to check out our videos on siege weapons and how to defend a keep, linked in the description below. We look forward to seeing you on the battlefield.